What is going on, everybody? My name is Jay. This is Unplayable, your favorite podcast about our favorite games. And today we are going to be looking at some Star Wars Unlimited spoilers. Now, we haven't done this in a hot minute. I'm talking about it's been 47 years since we looked at spoilers. So we have 47 cards to talk about.
That's right.
We're just
Wow,
going to go
I
ahead.
can't believe we hit 47.
One per year.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, we look pretty good for 47, so we'll take it.
So, let's just get right. Let's crack straight into it, Coach. Let's go. What's the first one we got to look at? Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a new leader. He's vigilant, right? I
Is
got
that
that right?
your Chewbacca impression?
This is my
David?
Chewbacca.
It's pretty good. Shockingly accurate.
What kills me about it too is Han in the back looks like a completely different art style.
Yes.
All right.
I've actually never noticed Han in the back of that card.
It's only in the unit side.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
funny.
so leader side ability. He's got an action. You exhaust him, play a unit that costs 3 or less from your hand, paying its cost. It gains Sentinel for this phase. He has an epic action on 7 that lets him flip to his leader side, and he's a 2/9. 9 is a lot. Is that the highest health we've seen in the game so far?
Yeah, I
That's
think so.
crazy.
I think so.
And he has Sentinel, which is busted. But even more busted is he has Grit, which makes him a freaking like 9/9 when he has 7 damage on him, which
Yeah.
is
That's big.
one of my favorite
Freaking
things
beast.
about this game so far.
Freaking beast.
So what do y'all think? Pretty good? Trash?
I love it. I love Chewbacca. Chewbacca needs to be a mainstay in any Star Wars game, and I don't think we saw that in Destiny really. Like he showed up every once in a while, but I saw this and I was like, yes, this is it. Sentinel, Grit, and he's creating Sentinel units, just messing with you, and it doesn't cost anything. A lot of the actions we're seeing like cost
A free
resources.
action is
It's
sick.
like, hey, here's a R2D2 Sentinel. Deal with it. Like
Yeah.
because that's useful late game. That's useful early game. I mean, it's
On either
think that-
side of the field too. So depending on what lane they're going for more, you can choose which side you want to protect yourself from, which is pretty flexible. So
Yeah.
I think I
And when
agree.
Chewie
This
leader is
pretty good.
deployed at 9, like how often is Chewie gonna get just roasted, like one shot? Like that's gonna be really hard. So anytime you attack because you have to, because he's Sentinel, you're risking getting slapped back in the face for 5 to 10 damage.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I love playing
lot.
this like when they have 2 units that haven't attacked yet, and then it's like, all right, gonna play Chewie. You
Mhm.
guys still gonna attack this round, or you want to go ahead and claim?
Yep.
It's a little sad to me flavor wise that pretty much every game you play with Chewie, he's going to be eliminated from the field and go back. But for that brief like reign of glory, it's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is, I think, what you want a card like this to be. Very big and beefy when it comes out. Seven is a lot though, so you got to
Yeah.
make it that
Mhm.
far. Fortunately, his ability
Helps you.
theoretically helps you get there, which is really nice.
Yeah.
The unit side is just like so thematic to me. Of like he's got taunt basically, and gets bigger when he gets hit. He gets mad when he gets hit, and
Mm-hmm.
smashes you right back. So I really like this card.
I also love design that's like it makes sense with how you're about to build this deck. Like you're like, I see this card, I'm like, okay, everything that has high health and grit, I want
Right.
to put in this deck and give Sentinel. Like it just spells it out for you, which I think is great for first set in the game.
Yep.
Totally.
All right, next up we got Boba Fett. He is cunning, right? That's yellow. Leader side. When an enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust its leader. If you do, ready a resource. So he's getting cash off those bounties, basically. Epic action. He flips on 5, becomes a 4/7. And his new ability is when this unit completes an attack, if an enemy unit left play this phase, ready up to 2 resources. So he's getting paid the big bucks. What y'all think?
I love this card so much. It's so thematic and so good. it like makes your opponent have to think so much harder about what you can do on your turn, because the resources that you have are not necessarily the resources that you have, right? Like I mean, I played against David a couple of games with this, and there were turns where, you know, it's like, okay, I can play, you know, I either like these 3 cards together because of his ability, or, you know, and even as the person playing him, it's like, if I play this card and I, you know, something happens and I don't get to eliminate something, then I can't do the enact the plan that I wanted to enact. So yeah, I think that he's really flexible, and anything that gives you extra resources in a card game is going to be really strong.
For sure.
Agreed.
On the turn that you deploy Boba Fett, you could potentially get an extra 3 resources. Yeah, which is wild. I was thinking like the card I Am Your Father, the one where it's like, oh, you either do 7 damage, you pay 3 to do 7 damage, or your opponent lets you draw 3, or you know, they scream no and you draw 3 or whatever. You know, in general, I think that's a funny card. I don't think it's like a phenomenal card. But with Boba Fett, I'm like, oh, that card actually might be sick, because if you get 3 extra cards with all those like little extra added resources every round, that can really add up. So I just love the way he kind of opens up some deck building too.
Yep. Yeah, this reminds me of like, I want to build like in Magic, there's like a blue-red combo is typically like the Spell Slingers kind, and this makes me want a lot of
feels like that.
Damage from hand, play the card to destroy their creature before it can even attack, and then you swing in with your stuff at the end of the turn. It's like every time they play something, you just kill it with a card. Could be pretty sweet. So I don't know if there's that much support in this game, but that would be awesome.
All right, next up, once it loads, Grand Moff Tarkin. He's a what is green? I can't remember now. Command. That makes sense. Imperial and official.
Emerald.
Emerald, right?
Oh my gosh.
Leader side, he has an action that costs 1 and exhausts him. Give an experience token to an Imperial unit, and he flips on 5 for his epic action to become a 2/7. On attack, you may give an experience token to another Imperial unit. We're gonna pass this one over to Jim. What you think here, Coach?
For 5, that's a really solid like early mid game play. Yeah, I'm immediately thinking like I want to buff my creatures and have such a huge board when this comes out that you're so on the back foot. There's nothing you can do. This card seems awesome. And experience tokens seem really strong in this game. I mean, +1 counters are no joke. You're basically like adding a cost to your card every single time, as far as like most game designs or like how they bump up. So that's sweet.
D House, what you got?
Chef's kiss. Love the design. Love this. The fact that it just costs 1 to give an experience token, make something +1/+1 is amazing. I think we're going to see some big, chunky, ripped stormtroopers on the battlefield.
That's my favorite kind of stormtrooper.
Is there any
like they're too big for their armor? They're just like, you know, because it's going to be, you thinking like, oh, they dropped that 1 cost little stormtrooper, it's 3/1, and all of a sudden it's a 4/2.
Yeah.
And then it's a 5/3. You're like, wait a second, wait. No, I immediately regret my decision. So I think this is amazing, and him coming out at 5 and being able to do this on attack, like a lot of stuff we've seen so far can't deal with stuff on turn 5 that quick. So without sacrificing quite a bit. Obviously, 2 attack is
turn
low,
4.
but turn 4. Yes, 5 resources. Yeah. So I just love it. I love the Imperial little tribal thing coming together.
Yep.
Mike, anything to add? Next one.
No, yeah, we'll go to the next one. I mean, they said it all. I love the card.
Perfect. All right, next up, we're done with leaders. We're going to units. 2 cost, Rebel Pathfinder, just heroic, 2/3 Saboteur. Basically, you ignore Sentinel, and if you attack something with shields, you defeat all their shields, which is kind of nasty against Luke, since he can stack shields on people. And ignoring Sentinel, it's good against Chewie. I guess, or like a super aggro deck that's trying to just like bypass anything and be able to just swing face whenever they want. Seems good. What do y'all think?
I kind of wish it was a 3-2 instead of a 2-3.
I was thinking the same thing.
Then it'd be too good.
Probably.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Like for the ability, for the saboteur ability, like maybe it's useful. What are other 2-cost cards that we have to compare this with? I guess are there 2-cost 2/3 space units?
I'm sure.
Space units.
Like it isn't Headhunter? No. The Arc 170, is that a 2/3?
Oh yeah, the restored
Got
arc is a
Restore,
2/3
though.
with
Is
restore
a
1.
2/3 with restore for 2 in space. I think I'd probably. I mean, it's obviously in a specific color. This can go in any heroic deck, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I love this one. The art's
Do you
sick
think this? Do you feel like this keyword makes you not really be able to do the shield up strategy? Like if there's enough saboteur cards that are fine with stats, it's like the Luke. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna put like 5 shields on a sentinel unit, so you're never gonna deal damage.
though. I don't know.
The Alliance X-Wing is heroic only, and it's a 2-cost 2/3.
Just vanilla 2-cost 2/3.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do like. I don't know that it'd be you could never lean into like a big Luke deck that's shielding like crazy, but I like when there's at least some moderate answers to something that could get out of control, because multiple shields on a unit. I think we saw this with the Gen Con demo decks.
Yeah.
Like when you can put multiple shields on the Sentinel Chewie, like with Luke deployed out,
Yeah.
it was game over. It was like, what are you gonna do? So.
Mhm.
I like having something where like, oh, I could, if the meta gets really shield heavy, I've got this Rebel Pathfinder ready to.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Yep.
Next up, Super Laser Technician, 3-cost, 2/1, I think. Yep, 2/1. When defeated, you
hard.
may put this unit into play as a resource and ready it.
Best card. of the
This-
game.
Card.
This is so good. I think it's better than like just normal ramp, like comparing it to like Gray Matala, because in this game, the sooner you get resources, the sooner you like extra
bring your
resources, the
leader.
sooner you can bring your leader out. So this just seems like high value.
Yep.
It
this
so
card's
naturally
insane.
pairs with Tarkin. Like,
Yeah.
play this on 3, kill it on 4. Tarkin comes out on 4. Like,
Hmm.
we're going to be hearing that time and time again.
Yeah. This it does all the things that you want a card like this to do, and it doesn't have a single drawback. It lets you get to your leader faster. It can, it's like 2 attack is relevant. The resource comes into play ready when like basically nothing else in the game comes into play ready. I think they could have done any number of things to this card and it would still be good. It could be a 1/1 and it would still be good. The resource could come in exhausted and it could still be good. This is 3 of in like every green villain deck, and
I think
you
it could
cannot
not be
convince me
Imperial
otherwise.
as well. Like the fact that you could buff it if you wanted to
Sure,
as
right.
well. It's just
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
there's so much flexibility with this card that it just feels
Even-
like an auto include.
Well, yeah, even the Snow Trooper Lieutenant lets you attack with Imperial with +2. Oh, I didn't realize that was the next card, but
Speaking of,
yeah. But the Imperial subtype. Yep.
2 costs, Snow Trooper, Lieutenant, 2/2, which is already worse than the Saboteur that we just saw. But when played, you may attack with a unit. If it's Imperial unit, it gets +2/+0 for this attack, which seems pretty sweet.
This card's
Crazy.
nasty.
It's so good.
yeah, again, Super Laser on 3, this on 4. So attacking for 4 damage right off the play, and then Tarkin comes in. I mean, just disgusting.
This is almost a surprise strike,
Mhm.
but
Bundled
surprise
in
strike
with the
costs
2/2.
2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like it's surprise strike for 1 fewer damage, but it has a restriction and it comes with a 2/2 character.
Yeah.
Whatever unit.
Good.
This card's nasty.
It's very good.
I've gotten
Yes.
wrecked by this card plenty of times.
I drew all 3 against Mike in one game, and I just was
Yeah,
like dropping them
you sure
every
did.
turn.
Let's pair him. Let's pair
Goodness.
him with something else that's good, right? 2 cost First Legion Snowtrooper. It's a 2/3, and while attacking a damaged unit, this gets +2/+0 and gains Overwhelm. So you have this out. You drop the other guy. He's attacking for 4/3. But if you're attacking something damaged like a Sentinel Chewie, then now it's a 6/3 and it's only a 2 cost.
Mhm.
That's sick.
With Overwhelm. Yeah.
With Overwhelm.
Yeah.
We're seeing an aggressive deck come to shape very quickly with these last few spoilers.
And if you're playing a leader like Darth Vader, where you can just ping a unit, you can fairly reliably get that extra damage onto whatever unit you want to attack with this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah,
sure.
I like seeing that, like that 3 health stat line on it, especially on a 2 cost unit. I think that's been really every time I see that in this game, it's been like, oh, I'm so glad it has 3 instead of 2.
So far, what I'm seeing is the 2 cost 2/3s are better than the heroes, the villain ones. That's
So
what
far,
I'm seeing so
it
far.
seems like it's true.
Unless aggro Saboteur becomes just like super busted. These seem better.
It could happen.
All right, next up, 2 cost Force Choke. It's a Force event. Is this our first event of the day? I think. If
think
you
so.
control a Force unit, this event costs 1 less to play, and that does not include your leader not being in their leader station, not being a unit. They have to be the unit. Deal 5 damage to a non-vehicle unit. That unit's controller draws a card. So you're telling me I can't Force Choke a TIE fighter? Well, if it's force choking the pilot in the vehicle.
Well, they're
It'll
in
crash.
space theoretically, right? So I don't know. I mean, Darth Vader is powerful enough to do that, maybe. So
Yeah, he is.
yeah,
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
no, he definitely is. He definitely is.
a 1 cost theoretically 5 damage card. That
Yep.
seems like the other one is
Pretty
3
good.
costs to deal 4, right?
Yep. You don't even feel bad paying 2 for this. 2 for 5
No.
is
it's still
way above average.
great.
Yes, you give him a card, but this feels like a 3 of in a aggression deck.
What's the other one? Or
Open
no.
fire.
Open fire.
Open fire. That's a 3 for 4, and this is
Yeah.
2 for 5. Like, yes, you give your opponent a card, but I think generally cards are a little bit less valuable in this game because you're drawing 2 every turn. Like, giving your opponent an extra one, it's not the end of the world. 5 damage, and it can hit leaders as well. So
True.
lots of things going for this card.
Oh yeah, yep.
I-
If there's any 5 health leaders, and then you just play this,
You
boom.
just snipe them.
Sheesh.
I think most other card games giving a card just feels like no shot this card would be trash no matter how much damage they put on it. But because you draw 2, it's not bad at all. This card is just so above rate.
This would be so much worse than Lorcana, right?
Oh yeah,
Imagine
I never want to give
Dragon.
my opponent cards.
Imagine Dragonfire said you have to give your opponent a card, but it costs 2.
Yeah, no way.
That's tricky.
Oh,
Or
but it costs 2. No, I still wouldn't. What are you trying to get rid of at that point in the game where
Yeah, it'd be tough.
that's
It'd be tough.
worth the exchange?
All right.
Anyways.
Next, 3 costs Waylay. It's a trick event. Cunning. Return a non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Ooh, I love
Love
these
that.
cards.
This card is insane.
This card is literally Mother Knows Best.
Yeah, big time Emerald
It's-
energy here.
It feels. I mean, yeah, it's that. It's also like sap from Hearthstone, right? Like,
Except
There-
this can be inked.
I'm not even making the comment to justify the response.
He's just boiling.
This card is a straight up middle finger to all the expensive units, which concerns me a little bit. Of like, it feels really bad paying anything like 5 and above and
Yeah, you
immediately
just get
getting
time locked.
waylaid. Which I guess is why you have to play around this stuff. Like that's the whole give and take of like back and forth play of like, oh, can you do enough other things and make them feel like, oh, they're not going to play this. That's where I like the mind games of this. Of like, do they have the waylay? I think it happened in that game against Jim Cartwright that Mike took over, where I did drop the ATST and he waylaid it. And so then I was holding on to it, thinking he has another Waylay. I had no idea there's only one in the deck or whatever. But this is going to be
It's gonna catch a lot of people off guard.
great yellow card. Yeah.
It goes great with Boba Fett.
I love the Return of the Jedi art.
Yep.
Just a side note.
I think this is even better in a game that is back and forth actions than it is in like a normal I take a turn, you take a turn game. I think it's going to like this seems like really good removal that's cheap, and it feels like the kind of card that will be good for while it's in rotation, assuming they do rotations in this game. I don't know if they've talked about that at all, but I'm assuming they'll probably do it. But all right, 2 costs Admiral Mahdi, Imperial official, villainous or villainy, I think is what they call it. So it could be any villain deck. A 1/1 for 2 trash. Oh wait, he's got a when defeated ability. When he's defeated, you may ready a villainy unit. That seems good.
This might be my favorite card.
Your favorite card.
It might be, yeah.
It absolutely wrecked you in our video that's going up tomorrow.
That's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite cards. You just wreck people. Well, tomorrow would be yesterday probably in terms of when this video is going to be released.
Yeah.
But it's just like it cards like this make, I don't know. There's something in my brain that just like needs to figure out how to break this. Mm-hmm. And I've seen many ways that it can be done already with Vader that hits you in the face for 24 damage in a turn.
Not bad.
But yeah, it's just like there's something so fun about being able to do something that you're not supposed to do in a card game like this, and like have Mahdi on the board, play a villain unit that your opponent like didn't play around in their mind or even better, have a like be on a late turn, right? Like imagine you're on turn. I'm just gonna like live in magical Christmas land for a second. Imagine that you have 10 resources or something like that.
Ooh.
And you play your 8 cost like gigantic ATST thing or ATAT thing. Your opponent doesn't think that they have anything to worry about, and then you play Mahdi, and then you kill your Mahdi with like Vader or something else, and then you get to ready your gigantic unit that you just played that your opponent didn't think that they could do anything about or whatever. Didn't play around. I don't know. I love stuff like that, so I'm very excited about this card.
It fits perfectly in the action-to-action sequence of the game, like you're suggesting here, where you kind of like reserve yourself until your opponent decides, okay, there's no way they can do anything else, and then you play this and like, do that. No. So,
this is a bit of a skill check card of it is not a turn 2 play. Like you do not play this on turn 2.
For sure.
That is to ready your stronger unit.
All right, 7 costs villainy event, Galactic Ambition. Play a non-heroic unit from your hand for free. Deal damage to your base equal to its cost. It's interesting to me that they had to put non-heroic unit in this text because you can include any kind of card in your deck. So this doesn't let you get past the restriction of aspect, I think is what they call it, non-aspect penalty. But this card seems like it's gonna be one of those meme cards.
Yeah, this card's trash.
Right? It's just gonna be a meme card.
Unless you really want to deal damage to your base for some reason, I don't think this card is even really worth looking at for any reason.
This card would be sweet if they had something like Dr. Facilier's cards where you can decrease it.
Just stop. This should be like
no,
not
I'm being actually serious though. Like if there's ways to decrease the cost.
Yeah. But like how cheap does this have to be for you to play it and then feel good about
it? It would
If you
because you're still dealing
if you're paying get a 9 cost out, maybe
you're still dealing 9 to your base though.
That's fine. If it
maybe it is. Maybe it is if on turn 3 you get to play a 9 cost card. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's
bad.
7 feels insane.
It's bad.
That's what we said about Just in Time, and then look at that.
No, true. Mike said that. I never said that.
All right, one
I'll
cost.
go back and find where you said that.
He definitely said it at one point. One cost heroic unit, R2D2, a 1/4 for 1, 4 health for 1. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
When played and on attack, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it on the bottom of your deck. A 1 cost that also has a when played scry. That seems such high value. I mean, let's
Yeah.
be honest. R2 is the hero of Star Wars, so he needs to
100%.
be really good.
Yeah.
100%.
I love R2D2, and I love the way it works with C3PO. Is it?
Yeah, we should
I feel
talk
like-
about
Go ahead and
it.
go to the
It's
next
an
one.
excellent-
Yeah,
it's an
might as well
excellent-
go.
to.
Because
2 cost C3PO heroic unit, also a 1/4, also a when played and on attack. Choose a number, then look at the top card of your deck. If it's a cost, if the cost is a chosen number, you may reveal it and draw it. Otherwise, leave it on the top of your deck. So basically, you get R2 out there, you look at it, then you put 3PO down, and you get to say exactly what the number is because you know what it is. You draw it. Free cards every turn. Easy game.
Easy money. Free cards
It's
are
so
great.
good.
Yeah,
It's so
these
good.
are great, obviously fantastic together. Have we seen a card that does this where they've listed the trigger, like the triggers together like this, and then the effect after? Because I think it's really cool. This isn't the case in a lot of games. Like if you were playing Magic, the card text would be really long, and they get to do cool things because they sort of embed the meaning of all of that text into like the triggers, and when played and on attack you do the same thing. I just think it's really cool that that's a thing that exists in this game.
I agree. For sure.
Yeah. I think they nailed the design, the friendship, the camaraderie. I love it.
Great design.
Great
I
job.
agree. All right. 3 cost Fleet Lieutenant, heroic unit 3/3. When played, you may attack with the unit. If it's a rebel unit, it gets +2/+0 for this attack. Wait a second. Isn't there a villain version of this?
Oh yeah.
we already talked about it.
Yeah. So Snow
This is
Trooper is a
Imperial, not
2/2/2, and Fleet Lieutenant is a 3/3/3. We're gonna see this a couple times.
Which
where-
one's better?
The other one. The other
other
one's
one.
way better because you're paying less for basically the same ability. Like, yes, this is +1/+1 stats better, but
Yeah.
I feel like the really like what you're playing it for is the when played ability, and that's the surprising and interesting thing about the card, not the actual stats.
Okay. All right.
There's an
next.
argument for the stickiness of a unit to the board, though.
Yeah, but you're paying for that, right? Like,
If you consider the fact that you might also use Tarkin to give it +1/+1, then it's kind of the same cost and same thing.
just more
Except-
flexible.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Next
sorry.
up.
Let's do it.
Vigilant Honor Guards, 5 cost of Vigilance unit, 4/6. While this unit is undamaged, it has Sentinel, which is a very weird. Like when you think about Darth Vader can ping it, and now it's just like not.
They're not
Sentinel anymore.
very vigilant,
Yeah.
are they?
It feels like it should almost be the flip of like when it gets damaged, it gains Sentinel.
That would be cool.
It'd be a lot better in my opinion.
That'd be cool. I don't think that this is a bad card.
Yeah, I don't
though. Unless you are playing against something that can really easily ping 1 damage from something. Like having to, I don't know, if you're playing this in the right situation and forcing your opponent to do something about this before they can hit you in the face.
Yeah.
I think I played this against one of you guys, and it was like decent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and if you
don't
can
know.
shield it, like, and you can, like with the Luke deck, if you can shield it so it takes on,
Oh,
it
for
basically
sure.
takes a
Mhm.
couple of things. It's pretty strong.
It's probably the kind of card that gets like that's like okay now and okay maybe even in the first set, but probably like gets replaced over time with better, more interesting stuff
Definitely.
like the next card that we're
The-
gonna talk about.
The
This is
other thing
also 5 costs.
Well, the other thing, just real quick, the Leia leader, her whole ability is about like rebels attacking 2 at a time.
Sure.
So anytime we see that subtitle, I think it's important to like think, does this work in a Leia deck too?
I think
sure.
that card doesn't.
All right. 5 cost Cunning Heroic unit Chewbacca, 3/6 Sentinel, and when this unit is attacked, ready him. I actually really like that they aren't using specific keywords as triggers. Like they can literally do whatever they want. Well, like we've already seen when played on attack, when this unit is attacked,
When
Yeah,
this unit
there's-
completes an attack.
yeah,
Yeah.
on attack. Yeah, so what do you this guy seems pretty good, right?
I love Chewie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Chewie.
I think that this is another great Chewbacca design.
Seems
It-
like a
it-
beast.
it's similar, right? It's like,
Mhm.
it has Sentinel, so he's like kind of your bodyguard, and then when you hit him, he gets mad. And
Mhm.
like I would at some point like to see some more sort of thematic space explored with Chewbacca, but because I feel like that's basically been Chewbacca's theme for every single
Yep.
FFG Star Wars game I've ever played. And I think he's a cooler character than that, but I think for a first set, it makes a ton of sense to do that. And I mean, stats for cost, I think it's really good. I think the ability is really good. It's obviously great in Luke, where you can put a shield on him.
Mhm.
He gets hit, doesn't take any damage, but still readies. Yeah, I'm into
I
it.
feel like most card games, go wide strategies is typically stronger than go tall, but this card actually, I think, lets you consider like, could you like Voltron this guy? Theoretically, maybe. Because like if this thing's swinging at you for 5 multiple times, it's like I'm not attacking you. No shot.
Mm.
Yep. All right. 6 cost villainy unit ATST, 6/7 with overwhelm. Vanilla but strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just watch out for the waylays.
And the
And it's
Sunspeeder.
Imperial, so you can make
Yeah.
it even beefier with Tarkin.
Yep. And we're gonna see a
Yeah.
card later that again on the Imperial tribe thing is good.
But it's a vehicle, so you can't force choke it. So it's a bummer.
It's
That's a pro.
technically not vanilla, but it kind of feels vanilla.
Yeah.
Because we've seen so many other cool abilities, especially what I assume at higher cost points. Like the cards should maybe be a little bit more interesting than this that we will see later. So I don't know. I think it's fine.
It's fine.
Mhm.
5 costs no speeder, the ATST's mortal enemy. Heroic 3/6. It is rebel. It's got ambush, which means when you play it, you may immediately ready and attack a unit. And it's not like Keyforge, so you can't ready it if you have nothing to attack and then use it for something else later. And then on attack, exhaust an enemy vehicle ground unit. So basically, you play this, attack into something, exhaust our ATST, so it can't do nothing. Easy.
Yep.
Even though I know it makes sense, I definitely missed the ground unit part the first time I saw this, and was thinking, oh, I'm playing this in space. Like, oh no, this is a ground, spaceship essentially.
Very thematic.
But I
So-
love ambush. I really do love ambush.
And also, with ambush, you can't attack a base, which is almost counterintuitive, I feel like. Right? In most
You get
games,
to take
it
another
feels
action
like.
though, right?
Oh, yeah. Like Destiny.
Okay.
See, it's
Right.
funny.
Dude.
All right,
I think
Solo
it's-
Sabine.
I think it's very thematic for Star Wars, though, of like, oh, Kim's in the last minute to defeat
Oh yeah.
the enemy
Well,
that was
and
about to
it
fight.
exhausts the ground vehicles. Like it's shooting the
Sure.
Trapping
Yeah,
up the
for
legs.
sure.
the tether,
It's,
whatever it's called.
Super
Yeah.
deep cut reference, but for some reason the artwork on that card reminds me of an old Game Boy Advance game called Advance Wars.
Oh, I love that game. Yeah.
It was such a fun game. For whatever reason, I'm just like remembering the way that like you would
That's so
attack.
funny.
Feels like that art style to me.
Interesting.
All right, another vigilant unit. 1 cost, 1/3, a 2/1B surgical droid. On attack, you may heal 2 damage from another unit. How good do you think this is?
I love droids in Star Wars Destiny, and I'm seeing the droids coming together.
Okay.
So picture. I'm not gonna do it. I've done it enough. I'm not
don't-
gonna make David mad.
I don't mind
you.
this card. I think it's okay. It's a little slow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
It
a lot
is.
slow. I think if you have,
I mean,
like the dream is you play this on turn 1 and then you play a sentinel on turn 2 that your
Mhm.
opponent can't fully clear,
Mhm.
and then either they just don't attack into it ever, or
Yeah.
you get to heal it afterwards.
It also
Yeah,
seems like it's worse in a game that it's back and forth, because what you would want to do is attack in and then use this to heal it immediately so that they can't trade back into you like
Mhm.
effectively.
Yeah.
So it feels like you already, if you're making a trade, it needs to have enough to survive if they attacked back into it, so that you
True.
can then use this and heal it.
Yeah,
So
so
it
you
feels
have
bad.
to like attack with something, defeat the opponent's unit, not risk a counterattack, and then
Mhm.
heal it. And that's like a lot of ifs.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's why I don't like this. Every time I've played this in a deck, it gets resourced.
Yeah.
I like it
If
in
it
theory,
said-
but I think it's too slow.
If it said restore 2, would it then be just way too powerful?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Okay.
that'd be way too powerful.
Yeah, I mean, imagine having 2 of these in your opening hand then, and now all of a sudden you have like restore 4 from the start of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Um,
then they just focus on the 2 units to kill them real quick before you could ever
yeah,
go for base.
maybe.
It slows down a little bit. I don't know.
yeah, not that exciting. We can move on.
Yep. 4 cost, a system patrol craft, 3/4 sentinel, just a nice little sentinel space unit.
Yep.
Seems fine.
It lets
Love
me
it,
like
sure
not
does.
worry about space and focus on ground. I feel like oh cool, you played some stuff.
It doesn't
Go
get
have fun with my
defeated by
sentinel.
that one card that comes in and destroys something that has 3 or less
Oh
health or
yeah,
something.
the interceptor. Yeah,
So it gets
that's a
around
good
that.
point.
True.
Yeah.
Next up, 4 cost tie advanced to 3/2. That's really low stats for a 4 cost. But hey, it's got a when played. And if we know anything about card games, when played are some of the best cards in existence. So what does it do? It gives 2 experience tokens to another friendly Imperial unit. This sounds like it slots perfectly into a Tarkin deck.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It does sound that way.
Honestly,
Yep.
like the Imperial deck of like dropping a cell block guard at 3 and
Oh,
then dropping
gross.
a tie advance the next, and like turning that 3/3/3 sentinel into a 5/5 sentinel is so I don't know, defeating. It's like, oh gosh, I have to throw so much into this thing that I didn't think was a big deal, and they didn't work really that hard because they just went along with their curve. I really like the tie advance.
There's a rebel vehicle that's like basically the same but one cheaper, and it's
Wing
also
leader.
good. Like I think that cards like this have existed in other games, and I feel like they're almost always like good because you're paying for essentially what 5/4 worth of stats for 4, which already feels pretty good as it is. And then you're splitting those stats across multiple units so that it's harder for your opponent to remove all those stats at once, basically. So I think just by the numbers, it's like a really good thing to do. You can also target your leader with this, which is nasty.
Yeah.
And also like halfway splits the unit that you're playing into being able to use it this round. Since
Right.
they come in exhausted, you get to immediately use those 2 experience.
Yeah, which is
Mhm.
very significant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good card.
Love it.
Next up, we got Han Solo, 7 cost cunning unit. 7 cost. He's a 6/6 though. That's a lot. And he has ambush because it's Han. And if you know anything, every time you play something that has ambush, he gains a shield. While attacking, this unit deals combat damage before the defender.
Nobody else got that.
No.
I
Oh, it's a
totally
deep
missed what you
cut.
said.
It's a deep cut. Zach Buns got me. Han Ray at Worlds. So basically this guy has what is it? First strike. Yeah, first strike. That seems pretty good at 6/6. I mean, you're gonna be taking down pretty much whatever you want at that stat level.
Yeah.
I love this card.
On play, deal 6 damage.
Getting
keep
to
the 6/6
7 is a
body.
lot though.
Yeah, seven's definitely late game. it feels
7
like.
feels like that's the round the game ends.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, this could save your butt too, because it's like, oh, what am I going to do about that thing that they have multiple things out there that's causing me issues?
Yeah. I really like this card.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
What do you think about the artwork?
I think it's
It's
okay.
great.
It's cool. It's
Okay.
it's a nice action shot.
I feel like he's almost too intense. Maybe like I want my Han to be a little bit more chill about firing his gun, but it's cool, man.
Well, he's reluctant about firing the blaster shot.
Han would never be reluctant if he's first striking. Come on.
That is true.
Oh, you get
That's
it?
actually-
He shot first.
Wait,
Get it?
I thought Green
he
was
wasn't
shot
like-
first.
Han,
Han did shoot first.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Han
100%.
shot first.
What?
Always.
you've never heard the term
I'm
Han
kidding.
shot
No.
first.
Get out of your 2000.
I know you're
of
kidding.
the
I know
film.
you're kidding. McClunky.
Even I know
All right.
this, Mike. Come on.
8 costs, Emperor Palpatine, 6/6, overwhelm. When played, deal 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units.
Yo,
This card's pretty sweet.
that's
So good.
awesome.
It's expensive.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
It's expensive, but you get a win played effect. So if you're trying to play around the waylay, at least if they waylay this,
At least you dealt 6
All right.
damage divided as you chose.
And you can
amongst
just
Yeah.
play it
units,
again
and then play
next
it again. I'll do
turn.
the same.
yeah, I probably killed a few units with this.
It's kind of similar to Han, right? Like you're basically
Mhm.
dealing. I mean, it's the same amount of damage the turn that it enters play, but you get to
Yeah.
split it with Palpatine, which is probably
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
The body itself,
Yeah.
though, I like Han's.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
I like both of these cards, and I'm a total like I like to play big stuff,
hmm
and both of these seem playable, so I
Yeah.
love that.
For sure.
Right now,
Right.
anyways.
I'm just grateful that there's opportunities for me to be behind on game. They kind of have check showing.
I
I
haven't
can play
even
this card
checking
different.
rarities, but that's a rare.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with
Yeah.
Han.
Nice. All right. Next up, Lieutenant Childson, 4 cost, Vigilant Villainy, 2/2 at 4. Sheesh.
Oof.
And Sentinel. So, all right. There's got to be something else here, right? When played, reveal up to 4 Vigilant cards from your hand. For each card revealed this way, give an experience token to this unit.
So it could be
Okay.
a 4 cost
Could be a
6/6.
6/6.
Which would be a ton, but then you're also playing a mono deck.
Yeah, and you also have 4 cards in your hand to show.
Yeah, that's the issue, I think.
Yeah, you just play a deck that stops at 4 resources, which is only 2 turns in.
Yeah.
So you start with 4 cards, you resource one the next turn, you're down to the math don't add up, coach.
No, it doesn't. If you want to play this on turn 4, I don't know. I feel like you're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah,
I guess
I
maybe you
don't
play
like
it down
it.
as a 4/4 or a 5/5, and it's still decent.
Is
I
a
think a
4 cost
4/4
5/5? Sentinel good?
I think a
seems
4
good.
cost 5/5 Sentinel is still okay.
I
yeah.
think
4 cost
4/4
5/5
is
Sentinel
fine.
adds a 4/4/4 is on par, and anything less than that is terrible.
But this is for sure. Like I'm just playing this because it's the first week the game's been out and I don't have enough cards. Like there's no world where I'm like, this is the meta. Like no shot. Sorry, Charlton. I'm sure you're very kind.
Childson's childish.
Have we seen
don't
any
know.
reason you would want to play double blue?
Yes,
Vigilance.
Wait,
we have
why do
Yeah.
I need to play double blue
2
in
cards
this?
from now. Well, you just want to
Yeah,
have
it's
4
coming.
blue cards
Oh,
in your
I see what
hand
you're
to
saying.
show.
I guess, but
I-
even like a 4/4/4 is fine.
I think a 4 cost 6/6, like that's pretty good if you can
That's very good.
reliably. I don't know, that's a lot of stats.
You could just it doesn't have to be monocolored. You could just build a late blue game and just have your early game be the other color.
Well, you can't really play early game and then still have cards left in your hand to get
That's fair.
just extra
Okay.
stats, unfortunately.
Was trying my hardest here, but it's just
No.
say
It's,
bye to the
it's
unit,
probably
to you.
not very good. But if you can somehow reliably get it as a 4 cost 6/6 without sacrificing too much of the rest of your game, I could see it.
Okay.
But that's a big if.
Yeah,
All right, we got a 6 cost Obi-Wan Kenobi.
here we go.
Another
Old
rare.
Hermit Kenobi. 4/6, but he's got Sentinel. And when he's defeated, you give 2 experience tokens to another friendly unit. If it's a Force unit, you draw a card Diddy.
This card's
This
sweet.
guy is
Love this.
awesome.
Yes.
Sauce.
I mean, not only do you want an Obi-Wan in your blue hero
Luke
deck, but I mean, gosh, the theme is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The ability is fantastic. You're never sad to see this. Even if you don't end up dropping the experience tokens on a Force unit, I still think it's good. The extra draw is just a little, but you could drop this on a Yoda, who's sitting out there, and then your Yoda is now a Force 6 with Restore 2, and he's drawing cards when he dies. So anytime the Jedi die, cards get drawn. Love it. Beautiful.
Everything.
Seems good. Next up, we got Vigilance. Okay, here it is. Choose it's 4 costs, double Vigilance aspect. Choose 2 in any order. Discard 6 cards from opponent's deck. Oh,
Don't choose that.
I can
Don't
stop
choose
right
it.
there, rip the card up, never look
Yep.
at it again.
Get out of here, Mike.
Yeah,
My favorite
You just
card.
ripped up a
happening.
legendary.
This is my
Jay.
real
You
favorite
just-
card.
You just
This
ripped
is
up
a
the legendary.
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 Easy $120 card.
Yeah.
Heal 5 damage
legendary
from a
mill.
base. Defeat a unit with 3 or less remaining HP and give a shield token to a unit. So what are you picking here?
Discard
Most
6
of the
cards
time.
from an opponent's
Not
deck
discard,
twice.
that's for sure.
Discard 12
jeez.
cards from an opponent's deck.
I do think all.
I know
The
it says
last
choose
3
2, but
are
I'm
fine.
choosing the first one twice.
So is defeating a unit with 3 or less remaining HP and giving a shield token good, or
I think
All
it's
right, so-
fantastic.
I mean, I love.
pick any 2 besides the discard one? And do you feel like it gives you 4 resources worth of stuff?
100%.
yeah, I would even pay 6 for this in some decks.
6.
This card is crazy good, right? Like,
Yep.
Vigilance is meant to be the control color, right? So you're probably going a little bit later game. You're trying to survive the early onslaught, and this card lets
Yeah.
you heal 5 and kill something, which gives you potentially a lot of breathing room. So I think
Yep.
that's going to be something that we see a lot, is like those 2 chosen.
Yep.
The other 2 are good
Is
too.
it even? Do you even think it's control? I think it's less control, more just like trying to get the late game by healing yourself, and then just like.
I would call that control.
Is it
though.
heal control?
But you're not really doing anything to control your opponent except
The
for like
defeating a unit.
signal.
You're controlling
Yeah,
the
but-
outcome of the game.
We haven't
prevents, like,
seen a
the-
bunch of blue cards that are like defeat units, have we? Maybe we
We've
have.
seen
Vanquish.
Vanquish. We've seen
Vanquish.
this. I mean, have to assume that there will be similar cards.
I think any card that gives you options is always going to be
Yeah.
fantastic.
It reminds me
So-
of
Oh,
like
for sure.
Cryptic Command, or like whatever all those command cards are in Magic, where there's like 3 modes and you get to pick 2, and everybody
Mhm.
always played those cards.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
just
think
the
that's
mix
the
of
card.
aggro decks in general is like you're trying to run out of resources right as you're killing your opponent's base. So it's just the idea of like, okay, now you have 5 more damage to deal through. Like
Oh, for sure.
like you're trying to build that deck so that that's exactly what happens. And that 5 damage, I think a lot of times just like means like I just scoot because I know I'm not going to get there. Because you play
Yeah.
one Sentinel unit or one like ability to like, okay, now they're just top deck mode.
I want a Bilbo type card from Magic. All right. Next up, 2 cost Distant Patroller. It's a space unit. 2/1. When defeated, may give a shield token to a unit. The artwork's cool.
A vigilant unit.
Yes.
Vigilant unit. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
A
so it has to be
unit.
blue. Yeah.
I'm
Seems
not really
fine.
excited about it.
That's actually been a controversial card. Like people have really argued over that one if it's good or terrible.
It's like in theory it could be if it's protecting a Sentinel unit, I guess.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't see like why would you put this in your deck though? I guess is my
Right.
question. Like what
I agree.
what role is this serving?
Because this isn't killing a lot of vehicles, honestly. And so
Yeah.
it's like if I'm playing a vehicle, it's to try to take care of that, and then if I get something else, awesome. But I don't know really what this is killing.
well,
yeah, it's weird.
2 into base.
I mean,
base,
it's
two base,
paying.
two base.
You're
But you're-
paying for Luke. You're paying 1 for a shield, right?
Sure.
So this is paying 2 for a shield, except you also get a unit out of it.
Well, yeah,
But it's
I-
not a
Sort
good
of.
unit.
I think if this cost
It's
one,
not a good
it'd
unit.
be worth looking at. I think at 2, it's kind of.
I
bad.
don't think the Luke comparison is fair because it's on a unit played this round or after he attacks when on his
Yeah.
unit side. So you do have to work for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Shield is good though. There's a lot of cool
Yeah.
things you can do with shield, but there's
Yep.
also a lot of ping damage that can mess with that.
I feel like this is just so easy to play around.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why you wouldn't include it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's very good.
I don't like anything that my opponent also gets to choose when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of that, if they want it to. All right.
Speaking of small ships,
Speaking of that card I talked about earlier, this is that 9 cost unit I'm dropping. Dealing 9 to myself. Relentless 9 cost, green black 8/8. What a beast! The
Yep.
first event played by each opponent each round loses all abilities. You thought you were gonna waylay me? Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
And I
Nope.
played this on turn 4 and took 8 damage to play it.
not in this world.
Also, this art is my favorite art revealed so far.
Yeah, it's
by the
really
way.
sick.
Sweet.
Uh,
It does
So
look good.
To by each opponent is very interesting.
Oh yeah, multiplayer.
So It's probably
Just putting a
pretty
target
crazy
on your back.
multiplayer. Yeah,
Oh,
well,
this is
a
like the
target,
spot removal immediately.
but
Wait,
the
no, you
spot
can't
removal
spot
doesn't
remove
work.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
You're so right. Dang, this
Unless
card
you
is
play
good.
2.
yeah.
I will say you're spending your whole turn and it doesn't have Sentinel and it doesn't clear something from their board. So you have to really have a board already established this late in the game.
Not
Or
if you're
just to
playing
kinda
that
go.
other card, dude.
I
Get out of here.
I feel like this is a like control mirror card, and
Yeah.
it's probably a huge bomb in that matchup.
Yeah,
Is
maybe
it
you
almost
slot
a
it in with
win-war?
blue.
Yeah, something like that, and just wreck your opponent's day.
Nine
Seems real
is
good.
9 is really expensive. It is
Yeah.
hard to get to 9 so far.
Well, you can do it on turn 5 if you have if you drew all 3 of your super laser technicians.
No, because then you waylay my super laser technician into my hand.
I
Last time
definitely
you and I
did
played,
that,
Mike. Yeah.
He
like,
did that
oh.
to me
So
too.
one of my favorite plays.
Jerk.
It's sweet you can get this out safely, but it feels really hard to get out safely.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
could be cool.
All right. Next up, it's a base.
Ooh.
It's a base.
25 health instead of 30. So you're taking 5 damage at the start of the game, essentially, to play this base. It's a blue base, security complex, epic action. Give a shield token to a non-leader unit.
Why
Is
does it have to
this
be
It's
non-leader?
a cool card.
is it good?
Oh, it
Is-
has to be
is-
non-leader. That would be so.
Oh, that'd be
That would be really
disgusting if
good.
it was.
Yeah. If
Okay.
you could give
I mean, five
Luke
health is-
itself, just Luke. If you just gave Luke a shield on play, and then he's handing out shields, and then that gets out of control.
Just saying, 5 health isn't like that's a big thing that you're taking
That's
away.
a lot. That's a lot of health you're
There's a
taking
lot.
there.
That
It's
is a lot.
But
there's
imagine
a
you're
lot of
putting it
decks
on
that
like
want
Sentinel
a free
Chewie.
shield. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty.
I would
pretty
like
good.
that.
This
Or
is
just-
where those rebel Sabs come into play. It was their saboteur, and just yep. Then you're really sad.
What if they have something that just like defeats a unit that you put the shield on?
Then you're sad.
Now you just took 5 damage at the start of the game for no
well,
reason, right?
then you traded a card for 5 damage and an epic action.
But what if they were already
It's
going
good.
to do it?
Then you're sad.
Right? So like if you have a Sentinel out like Chewie and I don't feel like dealing with it, and then you give
play
it a shield,
Vanquish?
and I was already gonna play Vanquish, and then you gave it a shield, now you just wasted that. Right?
Yeah,
I
I
do
mean-
kind of wish that shields blocked, like
They
more like
reward.
wards in Keyforge, where it's like it blocks the next
That'd be too
damage
good.
removal, whatever. But probably it probably does get
Yeah,
out of
that'd be
control.
Crazy.
But there have been times where I was like, oh, that feels so bad. But
I think this card is probably good, dependent on whether or not aggro is like the main win I guess like one, the top decks. If all the top decks are aggro decks and you're dealing 5 damage to yourself at the start of the game, you're probably gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's also skill dependent, I think.
Of course.
Like a skilled player is gonna realize not to put the shield on if they have more than 4 resources left to spend. Right? Like you're not like if they have
don't
5,
don't
they have
walk into
Vanquish.
Vanquish, and it's definitely better if you don't do that.
So if you just wait until the right time to use it, then you're gonna get use out of it and not like be screwed.
This just gets me excited for the design space around like the bases, and what that deck building can create. Like I just can't wait to see what Lau creates with Security Complex.
All right, next up, a 3-cost red space unit, Starwing Scout, 4/1. When defeated, if you have the initiative, draw 2 cards. I like the way the ship looks.
Yeah, it looks sick. I don't mind this card. I played it against David, and it felt pretty good until it got entrenched, which is another story and also doesn't make any sense. But now that I think about it, I think it's cool though. Like 1 health is really rough, but if you can draw a card off it, it's pretty good.
Right now we don't have
Yeah,
too
drawing
many
two is not
too much
bad.
ping damage, right? It's just Vader and the
Yeah, it's just
Interceptor,
Vader, right?
which
Yeah,
is 2
but it's still
damage.
just the fact that like it only has 1 health, so it dies to like literally the weakest possible space
Yeah.
unit.
But are you
But
okay paying 3
the
to
poor
draw
attack is a
2?
lot.
And like
Probably.
theoretically getting rid of like I don't know. It
I
Probably.
seems-
mean, friends on the other side is that literally. So
I
I'd
mean,
pay 3 to draw 2.
pay 3, draw 2 is very common in card games, and
Yeah.
it's typically fine.
Yeah.
But then you also get a 4/1 attached to that. But
Yeah.
you have to have initiative in order to draw
Mhm.
the cards. So
This definitely a skill testing card, like about when to play it, when to resource it,
yeah,
understanding
Early
when you
game.
have the initiative. Yeah.
Yeah. Early game feels
Or-
probably easy to do, but
When to leave it out of your deck, because that's what I'm gonna do. All right, next up is probably one of the best cards we've seen so far. It's a upgrade, 2 costs, entrenched, attached unit can't attack bases, and +3/+3 for 2,
Yep.
which seems bonkers.
this card's
Why
dumb. I
is this-
hate it. It's
Why is it so good?
it destroys me in all the wrong ways. When I have it, I forget that I can play it on my opponent's units. When my opponent has it, they lock down my units. Basically, I'm bad, and I don't like it because I'm bad. But
there it
also,
is.
yeah, it's just insanely flexible. You can do anything with it, and yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, I like this. I like it and I hate it. Like I feel passionate about this one way or another. Whether
I feel like it shouldn't be able to be attached to space units.
I think
that
that's
art
fair.
definitely makes it feel like, and the name, yeah. Maybe it should just be ground units. But I don't know. If a ship was trapped in a trench, it probably couldn't get out. So
Probably.
Why did it end up in the trench?
Maybe it's
in the first
entrenched in an
place?
asteroid or something. I can rationalize it in my brain if I need to, but I don't want to.
Not with this artwork.
yeah, I was thinking like, man, if you could, if they go heavy on the ground side and you can drop an overwhelm unit and then throw entrenched on there, and just start like 1 by 1 killing their ground units and getting the extra
Just
overwhelm
put this on
damage
your
onto
ATST.
the base. Yeah.
No. Put this on Chewie, who has grit. Now that dude's a freaking beast.
Yeah, but how are you giving
You
him
literally. It doesn't matter.
overwhelm? He doesn't need to win.
He doesn't.
I mean,
He
he's a
needs to be
sentinel.
huge.
It's like you're not attacking my base.
Yeah, you probably just completely locked down that arena.
That's a good point. And then you get to play vigilance, and you get to heal or repair, and you get to heal stuff, or that little droid, that the 1 cost droid, you can start healing Chewie.
Oh god, yeah. That would be bonkers. All right. Next up, 8 costs. Blizzard Assault AT-AT, green black, 9/9. That's fat stats.
big.
Sheesh.
When this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may deal excess damage from this attack to an enemy ground unit.
So
it's-
overwhelm for units.
Yeah.
basically.
But also, like, it kind of is like doing 2 attacks on like a turn or
Yeah.
a game that goes back and forth. It's almost getting a second attack, which is sweet.
Yeah,
Which is-
especially
which
if
is
you
just
go
doing
first and they don't get to use 2 of their units. If you defeat them both.
I like the theme of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like, it's shooting one big laser blast and it's like sort of AoE.
It's like splash damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
Artwork's cool.
It
Yeah,
feels pretty risky to play at 8 again, just stuff like Waylay
Yeah,
does
'cause it just
exist.
dies.
But it was interesting. I was thinking about it coming out at 8 and like Darth Vader deploys at 8, and so to put those out on the same turn
Isn't it
and be
7?
like, oh, is it 7?
Yeah, he deploys on 7.
Oh,
But
never mind.
also, you probably play this in a ramp deck, right? Like you're
Yeah.
gonna have
Super laser techs.
and
resupply.
they have to have other cards at ramp, right? Like,
yeah, like the next
resupply.
one
one
I
jump,
talked about.
one jump ahead.
This is
or
the
something.
next card.
Okay, here's a one jump ahead. I mean, resupply. It's a supply event. Green. Put this event into play as a resource. There it is.
Yeah.
Easy.
Nice.
Boom.
I don't,
Now
I
you're-
don't know about that.
Does it
one.
come into play ready?
No, it doesn't.
I don't. Okay,
You don't need
that
it
feels
to.
bad.
You
Yeah,
don't need it to.
I agree.
You
Uh,
just sing it.
Not a huge fan of this one.
Oh my gosh. There it is.
You don't think
Someone
it's
mute
good?
Him.
I think it's okay. I don't know. It's way, way worse than Super Laser Technician.
Definitely.
It's like 10 times worse than Super Laser Technician.
Yeah, but heroes can't play Super Laser Tech, so
You also
Well, they can
can't
for
get
5.
well,
This,
yeah,
can't
yeah,
this can't be waylaid.
That's
there
true.
you go.
That's true. I still think it's 10 times worse.
Yeah, I do. Too. Yeah, I'm curious if they'll release something that makes events cheaper, but
It just seems so slow. Like have you ever played a game? I mean, obviously we're in a very limited card pool, but have you played a game where you just like feel like you don't want to play a unit on turn 3?
Turn
You-
2, but
Yeah, turn 2.
yeah.
I mean, technically in Magic, they do have artifacts that like you play on turn 3 that lets you kind of tap it for any mana color, but
I don't know. It feels bad in this game.
that
From what I've
was
seen so far.
agreed. Most of that game is like allowed to go a little slower because
We're about to
it-
find out. This is command week for FFG, so we're about to find out if
it
this has.
depends.
True.
It depends on if there's more multi-target damage cards. So like if your opponent plays a character turn 1, that Stormtrooper, and then you play a 2 cost, and then turn 2 you play this, your opponent plays another character. They get to swing in once with one guy, but at the following turn you get to go first and you have something that defeats both of those. Then you kind of make up that tempo back, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I don't know. I'd like to try it and see what I can do.
Okay,
Try
you,
to get-
you try,
try to
it,
get-
and I'll,
yeah.
I'll play against you and we'll see. Okay.
I think that card will be better in limited because you'll just have more
True.
opportunity to play things. You won't feel as bad not playing a unit if you can ramp a little bit.
All right, next up, upgrade 2 cost Luke's lightsaber, blue heroic, attached to a non-vehicle unit. Still on this train of vehicles not able to have lightsabers. When played, if attached unit is Luke Skywalker, heal all damage from him and give a shield token to him. And it gives a +3/+1.
Seems good.
on Luke, it's so
On Luke.
good.
Seems good,
So
right?
do you like this or Vader's lightsaber better?
Vader's lightsaber.
Vader's lightsaber deals 4 in attack? Yeah, that's just way better.
I think it's better too.
Yeah.
But
It's
Now,
like,
if-
that is just busted. This is good still.
Yeah, I am curious about like inevitably at some point we'll have a Luke Skywalker like unit, not just a leader,
Sure. Boy,
and
Luke.
what that looks like, and is it possible to use them together and heal it? I mean, so we'll have to come back to this eventually, and whenever that Luke Skywalker does come out. But
I think.
yeah, I like Vader's better.
I wonder if there's a world in which there's an aggro deck that wants this card just because it can give a unit +3 attack.
Early, yeah,
Like-
immediately.
It's pretty interesting. Like you don't actually need
Yeah.
the when played ability to get 3 damage out of this sometimes.
I think I was playing one of you guys at some point, and I played this on an R2D2, and like R2D2 went ham. Like he was just wrecking people, and like he had like experience tokens from Wing Leader and a Luke's
nice.
lightsaber. I think it was one
I
of
don't
you
know.
guys, but I don't remember. But
This sounds familiar to me in one of the 5 games that I've played.
I think it
so-
was you, Jim. You're right. You're right. It was like an R2D2 with 2 experience tokens and Luke's lightsaber, and it was just like
Nice.
I'm the head of
hero
the
of
Jedi
Star
Order.
Wars.
Come at me, beat me. You know.
All right.
That's gross.
Next up, 6 cost green black Gladiator Star Destroyer. It's a 5/6. When played, give a unit Sentinel for this phase. I'm not sure how I feel about this card.
Me
I
neither.
feel like it's super situational when played ability.
Mhm.
And I also feel like if you're wanting to ramp like green wants, what you want is just big stats rather than giving something Sentinel. I'd
Yeah.
rather have this like come in and do something more impactful. I don't know.
I think that I don't mind seeing this late because it does give you the option of like the space side or ground side. Because like most Sentinels, it's like you have to choose a side, and it's a stall, I guess. I do think it being at common makes it. Again, we're talking about like draft and
Yeah, it
sealed.
is a
Like
draft card.
you'll see this a lot in limited for sure.
All right. Next up,
Oh yeah, I love this next card.
5 cost.
Insane.
Overwhelming Barrage, green black. Give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. Then it deals damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of other units. Seems pretty
This
good.
card's crazy,
It's
especially
so
when
good.
you always forget that it exists.
Especially when you've
Ugh.
already buffed a unit by giving it a lightsaber or experience unit
Yeah.
tokens. And then you also give it +2, and now you just wipe your opponent's entire board because they deal
Yeah.
12.
Mhm.
Yep.
Seems sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to spread that damage around like Palpatine, but this is at 5 instead of 8, like, is so good.
It's the exact kind of card you want after you've played Resupply.
I want all of these cards.
Is it on what character are you using this after you just played Resupply?
Whatever you played round 1.
Perfect.
You played a cell block
Stormtrooper.
guard.
The
or
perfect curve.
the regular Stormtrooper. Now you're dealing 5 to whatever. There you go.
Okay,
Easy.
you can play Tarkin, right? You play the 3/1 Stormtrooper turn 1. You turn
Give
it into
him
a
his
4/2.
experience.
You resupply on turn
Resupply.
3. Turn
Play
4,
this.
you play Tarkin. Then you attack with Tarkin and give your Stormtrooper another
no,
experience. And then you play this, and you're dealing
We got
what? 1,
there.
2,
A
3,
million.
4, 5, 6, 7. You're dealing 7.
Boom.
Oh yeah,
Nailed it.
because he'll flip the same turn you play this.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. And that's on turn 3, by the way.
Yeah,
That's turn 3, not turn 4.
the dream.
Or round 3, I guess, in this game. All right, next up, that card's great. Great removal. Anything that hits multiple units is good. 2 cost, Admiral Ozzel. Is that how you say his name?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Red black, 2/3. Action, exhaust him. Play an Imperial unit from your hand, paying its cost. It enters play ready. Each opponent may ready a unit. That's interesting.
So
You want to use this on when you've claimed initiative and you get to go first, right?
yes,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely.
So your opponent doesn't get the benefit.
Then
Yeah.
you drop the ATST all ready, and I mean all the big stuff like ready to go. The theme on this is fantastic. Jim, tell all of our listeners about the theme of this card, please.
Yeah, so if you guys remember in Star Wars Rebels, go ahead.
All right, so this is the dude that pulls out of hyperspace in Empire Strikes Back, and gets too close to the planet. The rebels escape. Vader just listens to him and kills him.
Chokes him
It's-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the theme of this is great because oh yeah, he's like, oh, we got him, and then but actually the rebels are ready and they're out of here. So
Nice.
I love this card. I think in an aggro deck, which Red wants to go hard and fast and everything, he's going to work great. So I think we'll see some Ozzel for sure.
Perfect. All right, next up, Rogue Operative, 3 cost, yellow, hero, 2/4 with Saboteur in Raid 2. Raid 2 is this unit gets +2 while attacking. +2 attack. Seems
Nice.
pretty good. I like Raid. It's like Challenger, basically.
3 cost 4/4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pretty sweet. With Saboteur.
Works with Leia's ability.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Seems decent.
Cool.
And it's a rebel. And if we ever have a trooper archetype, it's a trooper. All right, next up, we got another Han shoots first reference. Attack, 1 cost, cunning attack, or event. Attack with the unit. It gets +1/+0 for this attack and deals its combat damage before the defender. Basically, same thing as Han.
Oh,
Being able to,
Really good.
being at 1 cost, being able to give something first strike for an attack seems like really good in a game that is so finely balanced is what this one seems like.
yeah. At 1 cost, like I cannot imagine a deck that doesn't play 3 of these. A yellow deck. I know it's a limited card pool, but the ability to snipe something for 1 and take no damage in return, theoretically, is very powerful.
McClunky.
I definitely could see decks where you don't play this, but
Well, you're wrong.
I do think 4/1 it is fantastic.
I think combat tricks are better in this game because you draw 2 cards
Mhm.
than in
Yeah.
a game where you draw 1.
And because you go
very
back
fair.
and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is pretty sweet. I mean, I've done pretty gross things with this already. So
Yep.
All right. 2 cost Asteroid Sanctuary yellow event. Exhaust an enemy unit, give a shield token to a friendly unit that costs 3 or less. By the way, I tried doing the whole cunning command. I'd rather just call them by the colors. I'm tired of it.
You've done well.
What do you think about this? Exhausting it a unit. Is that worth 2? But giving a shield token 2 is pretty sweet.
I don't know why I'm not excited about this card, but I'm not that excited about this card.
I
It
agree.
seems like it does a lot for its cost, but I'm just like not that into it for some reason.
I think we need to talk about Boba Fett unit and come back to this because I think there's some like early combos that are very strong. I think Leia playing Leia at 2 and exhausting a unit is very powerful. Like when you're playing Vader, you're just holding Leia, waiting for Vader to pop, and then
Sure.
you're like, here.
I could definitely see wanting this with Boba Fett. That's for sure. Which we're
And the
about
fact
to
this
see.
doesn't say non-leader unit. You
Yeah,
can't
that
exhaust
is really
the
nice. You
leader.
can exhaust the leader.
Oh yeah, good call, coach.
Yep.
Do what it can out here.
Maybe I've been sleeping on it.
Yeah. Wake up, Mike.
Y'all keep watching Empire
Too
Strikes
tired.
Back too much, so you know all the cool references, but makes you too tired.
Next up, 3 cost
Jango Veers.
General Jango Veers, 3/3 at 3, and other friendly Imperial units get +1/+1. That seems good.
Let's go.
I mean, a 3 cost 3/3 already seems like on par, but then this guy also has a ceiling as high as you can play units. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, just a lot of stats.
And then you pair this
Oh,
with
this-
General Veers, and you're giving Imperials even more +1/+1s.
Yep.
Like that seems so strong.
I love
It's
it.
not even region locked either. You can give
Yeah,
your space Imperial units +1/+1.
Yeah,
That's bananas.
Also,
Very
his
strong.
subtype as official works with the Emperor's Royal
the
Guard.
Royal Guard.
Oh my
And when there's
word.
officially turns into Sentinel.
He's just
And
getting
it's
better and better.
4-6, 4-5
Yep.
when this is on the board.
My
Yep.
God.
It's very good.
Nasty.
Very good. We're going to see a lot of Veers just like we did in Destiny.
Perfect. As long as there's not also Django. Otherwise, I'm going to have to play my Luke Akbar and just it's a trap. I mean, that was the perfect counter.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, next up, 4 cost hero card, General Dodonna. 4 cost 4/4 rebel official. Other friendly rebels get +1/+1. Oh, it's General Veers, but worse.
Yeah, worse. Yeah,
That seems
For-
about
Instead of 3/3,
on
you get
par.
4/4.
for the same reason as the other one.
You
it's worse.
guys, You say it's worse. I
It's
think
worse.
I think board sticking power is, I'm not saying this is better. I would still say they're even.
No, this is
No.
worse.
No, it's
No.
worse.
This is worse.
Yeah. Hey, somebody clip this.
It's a whole turn
Timestamp
later. Like
and let's talk in a year.
perfect.
It's
we can
like
do that.
you're saying that like one cost for an experience token is on par. I would say 0.75 maybe. Like I don't think you can warrant an entire extra cost just for an experience token.
Yeah.
Card.
I would also say
Just a
that
vanilla stat.
you play Veers on turn 2, and now both your other guy is a better stat line than mine because we're playing the same stat line. And then I play this, and my guy's already dead. You already made a positive trade, and this does nothing.
I just think
I crack.
Veers leaves the board quicker than Dodonna. And so you get early value from Veers, but I think you get longer value from Dodonna.
But all of your characters all of your units are already dead because you didn't play Dodonna to buff them.
That's not true
Until
because
turn 4 or
Leia
turn
made
3.
them all attack before. So Leia teamed up with Dodonna and they attacked, and your base is dead. You win.
Trash. All right, next card. Let's see here. We got It Binds All Things. It's one cost. You
I knew you
exhaust
were-
it to play a blue weapon.
I knew you were going to do it. Somehow I knew you were going to do it.
It's a 2-cost forced event. Heal up to 3 damage from a unit. If you control a force unit, you may deal that much damage to another unit. How much do you have to heal and deal in order for this to be good? Does it need to be all 3?
I think you feel
think
okay
so.
at 2. I think it's really good at 3. Like if you have a force unit, which is the big if,
Mm-hmm.
and that force unit took 3 damage, and you can target it with this, then it's really good. It is very situational though. I don't know how often this is gonna fire for you.
It seems too situational for it to be good. Like you have to have a force unit out. How many
Oh,
force
I
units
guess
have we
okay.
seen?
The force unit doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the unit that was healed. So now I read that wrong the first time.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Um,
But still, how many force units have we seen?
There's Yoda, Obi-Wan, Luke, Vader,
Mhm.
Palpatine. That might be it for now, but this is a Star
Yeah.
Wars game, right? There's going to be
Yeah.
a whole crap load of force units in this game
Yeah.
over time.
I don't know. It just seems like it's too situational. You have to have something stick that has at least 3 damage on it and have a force unit out for it to be valuable.
Yeah,
I'm not
but you
putting it in my
like
deck.
you get to decide in some ways.
If you make a trade,
Yeah,
But just the back
Or-
and forth, like not really, because they can just then go kill it. Like there are situations where you can.
I mean,
but-
like you have Chewie out. You just played Luke in as a leader. You know, you attack in with your Chewie. It deals damage. You heal your Chewie, deal 3 damage to something because you have Luke out. Like I think that I don't know. I think that it's easier to pull off than it may seem.
you'll have to wreck me with it. All right. Next up, your guy
Yes,
you wanted
yes,
to chat
yes,
about.
yes,
Boba Fett. We have the leader and we have a unit, both of which can be on the field at the same time. 3 cost, yellow, black, 3/5 on attack. If this unit is attacking an exhausted unit that didn't interplay this round, deal 3 damage to the defender. That's such a weird phrase.
It's a lot of words.
Read.
yeah.
It's a lot of words, but it is a legendary, so keep that in mind. And so you're talking about a unit that's probably attacked at some point, or you played something like Asteroid Sanctuary and exhausted him, or we'll see Fett's Fire Spray in a second that also has something to do with it. But the important part about this is that on attack basically means before attack damage is dealt.
Yeah, so you
So-
can snipe something.
Yeah, so Boba Fett could theoretically kill something before taking damage, or do up to 6 damage
Yeah. And if you played
mean,
Asteroid
3.
Sanctuary, he has a shield on him.
Yeah.
I
And it
think
costs 3.
I think the important part here is that it's a 3 cost 3/5, regardless
yeah.
of the ability. That's already an insane stat line, I think.
Yes.
Mhm.
This is double strike in Magic, which is extremely powerful as well. Obviously, it's like double strike with conditions, but
Yeah.
it's a lot,
Doesn't seem like impossible conditions.
right?
Hmm.
So, like, I think making
I feel like
your
there's
opponent,
mind tricks. Like your opponent may not want to ever even use their guys,
Exactly.
so that you can't do this. You know?
I mean,
Mhm.
think of like in Flesh and Blood, like Icelander decks. Like, it's just the more questions you ask your opponent to like
Mhm.
answer, the more likely they are to mess up.
Yeah,
This
it
card
seems
is
really
exactly
good
what I'm
into
just
like
like-
Sentinel units as well. Like your opponent plays a Sentinel to keep you from being able to swing at base, but your 3 cost can swing for 6 now into that Sentinel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And at 5 health, this thing's lasting at least till turn 4 or turn 5, I guess. Because turn 4 because it comes down in turn 3.
It comes down turn 2, but
Yeah.
we should come up with a phrase because I've had this issue, like resource turn 3 or something.
I'm just gonna call it turn 3. I don't even. It's not a habit that I'm gonna be able to break because this is how my brain has looked
Tough.
at card games for 20 years or whatever.
The moment we do break it, we're useless in every other card. game.
Yeah.
It's just so weird because you start with 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Fett's Fire Spray, 6 cost, yellow, black, 5/6 space unit. When played, if you control Boba Fett or Jango Fett as a leader
Jango
or
Veers.
unit, ready this unit.
Sheesh.
Action costs 2. You don't even have to exhaust it. Exhaust a non-unique unit.
Nice.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Coming in ready seems real good.
Yes, it does.
I mean, real good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
5 damage already is great. And
Yep.
then
And it's in
spending
space.
your turn using resources to just exhaust your opponent's board so you can just attack face, like, doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world either.
Yeah.
Sweet card.
Sweet, sweet,
Gonna be
sweet.
very good. Yep.
Last one.
Last
Last one.
one.
Last one.
Fantastic. 5 cost blue unit ground 3/5. It's called rugged or rugged.
Rugged.
It's called rugged now.
Ruggy,
Just rugged.
ruggish, scruffy
What are they, like, rolled around in
survivors.
rugs? What does that mean, bro?
This guy's got grit. All right, my favorite card in the game now.
It's busted.
On attack, if you control a leader unit, you may draw a card. Okay.
Kind of cool.
It's a cool theme. Like, your leaders come into the fight, your guys are like
Stats are
invigorated.
not that great for
Stats for 5 is not
5.
great.
but it's got grit.
It has grit, so it's going to be a 7 attack unit.
Yeah, 7/1. Drawing a card.
Seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem good.
If they come out with more ways to manipulate grit, then I think it'll be decent.
Yeah, but is this even like the best of the grits though?
I don't know if
No.
we've seen that many yet. We've seen
Yeah.
Chewy.
Chewie's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, Chewy's the best for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause he's
again,
also
another
got
common
Sentinel.
for limited play that
Yeah.
will probably
Yeah.
be good in limited.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the same design ish of the 5 cost 4/6 Sentinel of fun damage, like that same level of like it's fine, but
Mhm.
you're not excited about it.
Can you remind me what movie these guys are from?
Oh yeah, they're
Oh.
from the Boba Fett TV show, obviously.
Gotcha.
They might actually though.
They
They're
may
from-
actually be from episode 1 or something.
No, what's
I mean-
that town called? That
Freetown?
Cobb Vanth. It was Freetown.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
could be
they're from
that.
Freetown.
There you
Yeah,
go,
sure.
yeah.
It very well could be that.
I just want to know what the dude on the right plans to do with that like landscaping tool.
He's about to plant a
The other
card.
dudes have guns at least, but he's like, I'm just gonna hit some guys in the head.
He's ready, dude.
I mean,
Captain
to be
Hook over
fair,
here.
he's the one I'm most afraid of.
If I was in a bar fight, sure. Yes.
You know
that's
this
the
guy's
guy
seen
I'm
some
worried
stuff.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a rug survivor.
Look at the way he's standing there, and just the way, like, I feel like he's peering
That
into my
is a-
soul right now.
power stance if ever
He's
I've
got
seen
his-
one.
His pants tucked into his boots.
What's
He's just
what's all
ready.
their names? I see a Terry in there, a Lou,
A Lou
Tom,
for
of course.
sure, for sure. Guy in the
One of
middle's
them's
name
Martin.
is Lou. He's the wheel man.
There's
Guy
a
on the
Martin
left
in
is
there
the
for sure.
demolitions expert.
Right, and Samantha in the back.
Okay,
She's
for
the
real, the
brains of the
guy,
operation.
the guy in the middle, the way his pants are, definitely looks like DBZ for sure,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
but like all of his friends go Super
Big
Saiyan and
time.
he's never done it.
Poor guy.
All right, guys,
We did it.
That's late night goofiness that you're hearing from us right now.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our spoiler review of Star Wars Unlimited. That was 47 cards in an hour and a half.
Not bad.
We're never
Not
letting it
Yeah,
get that
we're
big
not
again.
gonna. We're not. Yeah, I was about to say that.
I'm not doing another
47
spoiler
years.
review until the whole set's out. So
Wow.
Perfect.
Heard
We
it
can do
first.
140 something cards.
yeah, easy. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all next time.
I'm gonna
Peace.
go watch Empire Strikes Back.
Bye bye.